Yo, what is good with y'all? It's your boy KAG, and today we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch and all of the Nintendo Switch Mini haters. That's what we're going to be talking about because there's a lot of haters out there, and I just need to set the record straight because it's getting kind of annoying now. Anyways, let's hop into this video. So today we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch Mini and how for some strange reason we have a rather large community that is completely against it. You know, even my boy Chips and Sticks, which you would think he has more of an open mind considering he plays games like Kingdom Hearts. You would think that he would be in the mind frame of options is better than no options. When you think about socialism and capitalism and all of that, right, and having a democracy, there's a lot of people in the world that don't have options. And then when you're offered options, now you're gonna say, oh, I don't want options, even though I have the option to have my regular Nintendo Switch, and I can use my regular Nintendo Switch and it's not gonna affect anybody. And then you have a bunch of people that would maybe like to enter the Nintendo Switch community, but maybe the Nintendo Switch is too expensive, or maybe the Nintendo Switch is a little too big for them, or maybe they want to buy it for their kids, but they're like, I don't know if I want to get my child a $300 console, or maybe I don't want to get my child a console that is apt to possibly break when the Joy-Cons, get a little raggedy or something like that on the hinges. So, when you have situations like this, then you want to go ahead and you want to see why did they feel that way? Do they feel that by having a mini version, does it make them feel like the console is more of a childlike device now? Like the regular Switch doesn't exist? The idea and the goal behind this is to get the Switch in as many hands as possible. You want the Nintendo Switch to get in as many people's hands so that you can sell software, so that you can sell hardware, so that you can make money. This is what gives you sequels to consoles, is by having them sell great. You don't get a follow-up to a movie by having a mediocre movie and it only selling mediocre. You need that movie to be a hit. You need it to actually go out there and reach the masses of people. You need a lot of people to be there and support that movie. And in this case, you need a lot of people to support the Nintendo Switch. Now, there's a lot of kids out there who maybe the Switch is too big for them. Or maybe their parents don't want to afford and buy that for them because it's too expensive or it's too big, or they feel that they're gonna break it. And what's wrong with having a more portable version of it that may be a little bit, just a little bit more child friendly or a little bit more portable? It doesn't necessarily mean that it takes away any of the Switch aspects, because for all we know, they could use the same software that they use in, let's say, the Wii U, right? The Wii U, technically you had a device that was plugged up to your TV and you could still see the game on your controller. And in this case, a HDMI dongle or something like that, you plug it in the back of your TV. When you get home, you press a button and it just automatically connects to the TV and you can see the gameplay on the TV, and you just use your new mini Switch, right? Your mini Switch as the controller. I don't see why that doesn't make it a Switch, because it's still switching from being portable to on the TV, right? I mean, it just makes sense. So outside for that, there's nothing wrong with having options and being able to say, okay, we're gonna play the same games, but maybe this device is a little bit more portable. Maybe this device right here, it has a bigger screen and this is made for more of adults or maybe more of teens, whichever. And then maybe they even do a version that's even more powerful. Just because it's small or mini does not mean it's less powerful. Last time I checked, they could fit a Tegra X1 chip and a cell phone. You know? Or a little thin device. And you can still plug it up to your TV. So, as far as that goes, I don't get where you're going with this. You go ahead, you take an X2, something that runs a little bit cheaper. Maybe it runs a little bit cooler. You put it in a smaller device. It can still play the games. Exact same. Maybe the screen. Maybe they said, you know what? We're going to go ahead. We're going to put more storage in this smaller one. Because, you know, why not? Because they've become cheaper. Or maybe they put an OLED screen in it. You know, a Super AMOLED screen like the Galaxies use. You know, maybe they decided to do that. And so now the smaller version is better viewed in the sun. So when you go outside to play your games, you can see the screen even better. You don't really know. You can't really knock it before it was even introduced or announced. I didn't see a ton of people saying, oh no, they shouldn't be coming out with no more 3DS, a 3DS Lite, or a 3DS XL, or a 2DS, or you know, all these different types of DS devices. DS Lite, DSi, 3DS, 3DS XL, 2DS, 2DS XL. Tons and tons of them. And so if they ain't complaining about that, then why complain about the Switch? The goal is, they were supposed to reach 40 million by the end of this fiscal year. They did not reach that 40 million. Maybe they didn't quite have the software there that they needed. Maybe they needed it to be more affordable. And who knows, maybe this new mini Switch Mini, whatever you want to call it, Switch Lite, maybe it can be cheaper. Maybe that'll have your friends that you wanted to have a Switch a long time ago to play with be able to finally be able to afford to get one. It's not like they're taking the regular Switch off the market. They're just giving you another option saying, hey, if you can't afford the $300 one, maybe you can afford the one that's $200 or $250 or $199, whatever they want to sell it for, $150. You know, maybe it's made of a cheaper plastic. But if you look at like the 2DS right now, they had the 2DS that came out in this big slab looking form, and a lot of people didn't like it, but you know what? A lot of kids have them, right? And not only just kids, but you have women in the gaming community, or maybe even just people in general, like in Japan, or people that just do not really care about whether or not it plays on the TV or not. Maybe they just want to play it portably. You know? Not saying that they're going to strip away the option for them to be able to hook it up to their TV, but maybe they can throw it in their purse a little easier. You know? Maybe they can slide it in their pocket a little better, because last time I checked, these don't go in your pocket quite as nice as you would like them to. I know another console that's in a nice form factor. It may not have sold well, but it's actually a nice looking device, and that is the PlayStation Vita. Yes, it didn't have the great games that the Switch has. You know, it didn't have Nintendo backing it, for example. But imagine having a console the size of a PlayStation Vita that can easily slide in your pocket. You can take it out your pocket, and you can play Breath of the Wild on it, Mario Kart, Octopath Traveler, you know, Doom, tons and tons of games. If you even Fortnite, whatever, you can play all those games on your little Vita-sized Nintendo Switch. Who would be mad at that? Maybe you be mad at it, but a lot of people that have been wanting to join the community, but the entry point is too high, or it's just not quite the form factor they need it in, you know, maybe that's what's been holding them back. You need to be a successful manufacturer. So you get the hardware, you get enough hardware out there, then you can sell a lot of software. You got games like Animal Crossing coming out this year. Huge game on handheld. You got new Pokemon games coming out this year. A big boy Pokemon. This is supposed to be the Pokemon, right? And last time I checked, that whole community, it was all handheld. They went from the Game Boy Advance, 3DS, or should I say the regular DS first, 3DS. They've been in the handheld community for a long time. And the Switch, they classify it as a home console. They do not categorize this as a handheld. And it's, yes, you can hold it in your hands, but it's still not technically a handheld. At least not according to Nintendo. And if you can have a smaller version that can still play the same games, but be more portable, I don't see what's wrong with that. Anyways, let me know what y'all think about this down in the comment section. There's nothing wrong with having options, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Let everyone come together. Handheld community, all those GameCube buyers or Wii U buyers or Wii buyers, let them all come together. Let's have a nice sized community. Don't discriminate because it's something you don't like, but there's people out there that want it. Yes, eventually there probably will be a pro version, but in order for you to get your pro version, you need to sell a bunch of the regular version. I'll check y'all out in another video. Later.